Hello, I'm Krista Kramer with the Idaho Assistive Technology Project. Welcome to our Communication Access series. This video will focus on personal amplifiers. There are a wide range of personal wearable amplifiers these days. Most people think of hearing aids first. Prescription hearing aids are considered medical devices designed to compensate for mild to profound hearing loss. Most states require them to be sold through an audiologist or a licensed hearing aid vendor. They're programmed by a professional to specifically amplify the frequencies that you don't hear well and have a variety of features for different environments and needs. They're also quite expensive. In 2022, the FDA approved over-the-counter hearing aids for adults with mild to moderate hearing loss. These products often look just like hearing aids, but they do not require a medical exam or a prescription and are usually adjusted by the wearer, often with a cell phone app. They're significantly less expensive than hearing aids, which makes them more accessible for a lot of people. The next tier down are personal sound amplification products, or PSAPs. Some look like hearing aids or like earbuds. Others look like a small microphone with headphones attached. They range from amplifiers to help bird watchers and hunters hear the critters in the woods to devices marketed for people with hearing loss. They're not considered medical devices. What once was a pretty clear distinction between a professional product and a device to make things louder has now become a spectrum of options with a wide range of features and costs. For now, I'm going to focus on the PSAP end of this spectrum. At its simplest, a personal sound amplifier is a small device with a microphone, a volume control, and usually headphones, although some look like a hearing aid. While my intent isn't to endorse any particular product, I do want to talk about a few different ones to introduce you to the range of features available in these devices. The basic Pocket Talker models have a roller knob on one side for volume control and one for tone control on the other side to emphasize higher or lower pitches. They operate for about 100 hours on a set of regular batteries. The Comfort Duet has large, clearly marked buttons for volume control. The tone control options are only accessible by taking the battery cover off and selecting from a few presets. This can be a feature. It can reduce the chance of someone unknowingly changing those settings or continually playing with the knobs. Volume buttons are often self-limiting. People will stop making them too loud. The Comfort Duet also has a button that allows connection directly to the T-coil in someone's hearing aids rather than using the earbuds. The next image, the Maxi Pro, has buttons for volume control and tone control on the front of the device. It also has the option to connect to a Bluetooth audio source, such as a smart TV or a smartphone. If you're considering purchasing a hearing amplifier, some of the things to consider would be things like, is there the ability to set a maximum volume so that very loud sounds aren't amplified to a dangerous level? Is there a transparency mode to allow you to shift between hearing what's happening in the environment and what's coming through your earbuds? Does it use rechargeable or standard batteries? Some of the devices, like the Be Here Access, include a hearing test as part of the personal setup process, so the amplification is matched to your hearing profile. And another question is, how accessible are the control buttons for someone with low vision or dexterity? For some individuals, the simplest device is the best option. The next level of personal amplifiers are those that involve a microphone that isn't wired to the listener. These systems have a transmitter that sends a signal to a receiver. They may use an FM radio signal, infrared light signal, Bluetooth, or UHF, an ultra-high frequency radio signal. FM systems have a fairly long range, allowing a parent to take a crying child around the block while still listening into the church service, or for a teacher to wander off and get in trouble when they go into the teacher's lounge and forget to turn off the transmitter, and what they're saying still goes directly to the students' ears. Infrared systems use light to transmit the audio signal. So you have to be within line of sight of the transmitter, which makes them a good choice if confidentiality is important. Bluetooth transmitters have a fairly limited range, depending on which version of Bluetooth you have. But most often, it's reported to be somewhere between 30 and 100 feet. UHF systems use another radio frequency band and have a range of about 600 feet or so. And these are often used by dance instructors and tour guides, and they're designed for getting sound to the ears of the person they're talking to, but are not designed with any pitch control. Recently, there have been some great improvements in the features on smartphones that allow you to use the phone as an amplifier for a long time, it was only with wired headphones, but more recently, the options allow you to connect either Bluetooth or headphones or even your compatible hearing aids directly to your phone, either for hearing audio that's coming from the smart device or to amplify sounds in the environment. Sound Amplifier on Android and Live Listen on iOS allow you to use the microphone on your smartphone as a directional mic and have that audio transmitted directly into headphones or into your hearing aids. With most of these amplifier options, you need some kind of headphones or earbuds for your listening experience. And finding your preferred style of headphones, depending on your particular listening environment, can make all the difference. In a noisy environment, a person may need over-the-ear headphones to isolate the audio signal from background noise. But someone who spends most of their time in bed may have difficulty keeping those heavy headphones on their heads. Active noise cancellation is another feature that can dramatically reduce the hums and whirs of ventilation systems, road noise, or oxygen machines. In other situations, such as when a blind person is listening to directions from their smartphone, they still need to be able to hear the traffic and environmental sounds. So they may prefer bone conduction headphones. that leave the ear canal open to environmental sounds. So weight, shape, fit, and even the question of, do they mess up someone's hair, may be reasons that different headphones are loved or hated. For more information, you can either scan this QR code or go to bit.ly/COMAT or contact the Idaho Assistive Technology Project at the numbers listed here.